Today on the grid, it is open Q&A day. We're talking about photography. We're talking about Photoshop. We're talking about Lightroom. If you have questions on any of that, keep them to yourself. No, let us know in the chat and we'll try to answer them. Mr. Kuna is not here. He is enjoying his vacation in mountains or something somewhere, or at a beach somewhere. I think he's at a beach actually, but he won't be here, and he's not even zooming in because he's on actual vacation. Well deserved, by the way. We've got lots of news. We've got some giveaways. We got some really pretty cool giveaways, and I predict, even though ERIK is not here, that it's going to be a fine day on the grid, and it all starts in just 11 seconds flat. Let's go!
The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
Hey everybody, welcome. It's Wednesday, 1-ish. Glad to have you guys here. Where's Kuna? Last I heard, he's got an RV, so he's constantly on the move. Last I heard, he's in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Outer Banks in it, beaching it in his RV with the fam. He's having a great time. And here we are back in the studio, sweating, working, doing whatever it is that we do. Very glad you guys are here. Thanks for joining us. Today is open Q&A day. So if you have questions about like photography or photo gear or lighting or Photoshop or Lightroom or love, anything, this is the day to pop it in. Why is it good to ask a question? Well, number one, I don't have enough to keep an hour show going without it. That's number one. Number two is anytime you ask a question, you're automatically entered to win one of our cool prizes today. We're going to be giving away all kinds of cool stuff. What are we giving away? We're giving away the Platypod handle. Even if you don't have a Platypod, it looks like a lightsaber handle. So, there's that. And it's $70. And it extends your Platypod. So if you put like a light on it or your camera on it or whatever it is, it basically just extends your Platypod up to 10.5 inches. All right, so there's that. We're going to give away my brand new book, just out, just hit Amazon this week. How do I do that? On my Tesla. It is for Tesla owners. Don't buy it if you don't have a Tesla, because it is kind of how to do all the stuff. The whole Tesla is operated off basically a big iPad. It's a software-based car. And like software-based things, there is so much to it. It's an insane amount of money, of stuff to it. Not an insane amount of money. It's a reasonable amount of money. It's an insane amount of money. By the way, 3 weeks ago, we saw a deal on a Tesla Model 3. You had to buy one that was in stock. $159 a month for a 3-year lease. That was like $159, kind of crazy. Anyway, moving on. Just so you know, I wrote the book before he went crazy, so yeah. I don't know what to say. But anyway, we're going to give away one of those today. We're also going to give away my favorite book, Crush the Composition. This is the book that everybody needs and doesn't think they need. This is about the most important part, I think, of photography, because it's very, very easy to simply make your image darker or brighter, or make it more warm, or make it cooler, or anything like. But composition is what it's all about. It's really composition and light are the two things that make photography. This whole entire book is on composition, and it's not just a rehash of the rule of thirds and all that stupid stuff. So it's not stupid stuff. It's good stuff, but it's just, we've had that since the 20s. Do we need another book on that? No. So I wrote that book. We'll be giving away one of those today. We're going to give away, what else are we going to give away? We're going to give away one of my favorite plugins, the one that I use. It's weird. I never used to use noise plugins because all they did was blur your image to get rid of the noise. But these AI ones, this is the ON1's AI, no noise AI. It's flipping unbelievable. It is absolutely incredible. I use it all the time. Someone's going to win one of those today. And again, making a comment enters you automatically to win today live on the show. We're going to be giving away a V-Flat from the folks at V-Flat World. These are so cool. We use them in our studio. We love them. They are sold, and that one's actually sold out. But we still have some. We're going to ship it. It just has to be a U.S. shipping address only. So we can't ship it to Sweden, but we can ship it to South Carolina. We can ship it to the Outer Banks so Eric can use it. But you can also use a discount code, Kelby10, at checkout, and you get 10% off. All right, I think that's everything we're giving away today. Oh, no, we're giving away a brand new book from ERIK Kuna. We have to give away the ebook because the print book has not hit Amazon or anyplace else yet. It is called the Night Photography book, right? So that is from Mr. ERIK Kuna. It's his first book, and it is a dandy. It's going to be released later this summer, next month, but you can get the ebook immediately, and we're going to give you one of those. Someone's going to win one. Now, when you make a comment, ask a question if you'd like. Of course, I hope you do. But then also say, and by the way, I'd like to win the Platypod handle or the Tesla book or Eric's book or whatever. We want to make sure that we send you something that you want. So just let us know what you'd like to win and drop in the questions. Okay, a couple of things to talk about. Hang on. I have chicken sandwich news, but we'll get to that in a moment. This is really good, though. All right. So there was a thing that happened in the Lightroom universe that has a bunch of people freaked out, and so we got to talk about it briefly. So Adobe just did a very nice update. You know, their June update, they do these, periodic updates all during the year, and this was a really nice one. They added a lot of nice features, and one that I love is how they changed how the noise reduction works. So, I mean, the AI noise reduction that's built into Lightroom, and it's built into Camera Raw. But here's what they changed. So when you did AI noise reduction previously in Lightroom, using the AI, it had to duplicate the file. So if you had to reduce it on this one, it made a copy, it reduced it there, and then now you have two. Well, if you had 20 raw photos or 60 raw photos, when it was done, you had 120 raw photos, 60 that were still noisy, 60 that had their noise removed, right? So they changed that. In the update, it no longer makes a duplicate, which is huge. And also, they don't make you, it was kind of hidden. Now it's in the detail panel. It's just a checkbox. It's much, much easier, more streamlined. It's a better workflow, except for this one thing that won't affect everybody, but the people it did affect are pretty upset. Using the old method, you could take 200 images from a wedding, say, remove the noise, and it would do it in the background. So you could work on other stuff, and it's just back there cranking. It would take a long time to do 200, and when you're done, you wind up with 400, but it would take a long time because it depends on the speed of your machine. If you have a really speedy machine, it might be 2 minutes an image. Well, you're talking 400 minutes, and then you have 400, images. Anyway, that went away. Yes, you can still batch do it, but it locks up your screen, and there's a status bar that stays there, and you can't do anything else. Remember, you used to be able to batch process them and continue working. Now you can still batch process them. You're not going to have 400 images when you're done, but you have to leave your computer and go do something else or switch to a different program because it's not going to work anymore. I wrote about all this over on lightroomkillertips.com. It was my post from Monday. So if you zip over, no, it wasn't Monday. It was Friday's post. Sorry, it was Friday's post. So that was Friday. On Monday, well, I mentioned on Friday that any time that you mention Adobe and Lightroom in the same sentence, you can count the minutes before somebody goes, I'm not paying for my subscription and you kids get off my lawn. Anyway, sure enough, guy goes over to my Facebook page. I'm not paying for a subscription. Like, I didn't ask if you were paying for a subscription. I didn't say, hey, let me know what your subscription status is. But people just have to jump in and, I'm not falling for that. I'll pay for every other thing. Netflix, my cable box, everything else in the world. But I draw the line at Lightroom and Photoshop. So anyway, of course, that's what he did. So here's what I didn't even respond back to him. But here's what I did. If you look at the one right there on screen for subscription holdouts, I listed all of the features that have been added to Lightroom and Photoshop Now I didn't list all the features. I listed the main features because a ton of the features are literally things like speeding it up, making it faster, tweaking this, adding color labels, or just little things, right? Enhancements. I would call them enhancements. And then there's Photoshop, and then there's a bunch of them for Photoshop. There's a bunch of them for all of them. It's a whole bunch of stuff, right? There's just so much added to those. And I know you're trying to stick it to the man. I know you're trying to tell Adobe, you're not getting my $10 a month. And Adobe, the multi-billion-dollar corporation with like 47,000 employees, feels like, oh man, you're sticking it to us. But anyway, anyhow, I wrote about all that on Monday. So Friday was the other stuff. Monday was this. And there we go. So that is the first bit of news. Let's take a couple of questions before. I want to save the chicken thing for a little bit because the chicken thing is very tasty. Teresa wants to know, have you thought about selling your Tesla books to Tesla dealers? They would give them away as gifts to their people who buy a Tesla. You probably already thought about that, but it's just a thought. This is terrible, Teresa. I never thought of that. Now, Teresa, I will say this. It is my publisher's job. They're supposed to sell the books, right? I write the books and they sell the books. But I will tell you this. I will be talking to my publisher. I think it would be a great idea. And I happen to know that my book editor is watching this show. Now, she's my in-house editor, right? But she helps promote the books a lot. She's really great. So to Kim, who I'm sure is watching, hey, Kim, we could send every dealer a book. And I bet the publisher would send us free ones to send to them. We just have to pay the postage. That's really a pretty good deal. Just one to every dealership. I don't know. It sounds like a pretty good deal. I don't think they're going to give them away. But it still couldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt if somebody just asked them, where do I get help? And they go, oh, I saw this book they sent us. I don't know. That's a great idea. Thank you. I think it's actually a really, really good idea. All right. Charles says, Scott, why don't you like Lightroom, the cloud version, and prefer Lightroom Classic? So Charles, Lightroom Classic has many more features than the other Lightroom does. That's number one. It just has a lot more features. There are features missing for me in the Lightroom Cloud version that are simply just a deal breaker. I would not go back to that. I don't want to go back years in time to where there's features that I don't have. I will say this. They keep adding more and more features, but it's not anywhere near what we would call parity, where both programs are the same. That's number one. Number two, I was teaching in Adobe's booth last week at the Build conference in New York, and I'm a huge crowd at Adobe's booth, and I ask, in their theater, how many people are using Lightroom Classic? Every hand goes up. How many people are using Lightroom Cloud? Like 1, 2, 3, hundreds of people. That's my audience, is those people who are more, I guess, pro level. They're serious about photography. Even if they're not working pros, they're pro level, and Lightroom Classic kind of speaks to them. Reason number three is, for me to put my whole library up in the cloud, I already did the calculations. It would be $1,200 a year in storage costs. I'm not going to spend $1,200, and I can buy I just did. I bought a $167 12 terabyte drive. It's like, I have multiple of them. In fact, I've got one right here. Here we go. That's my whole library right there on that drive. $167. I got a couple of them. That's it right there. So I'm not going to spend $1,200 a year plus my subscription. So it's $1,200 for storage plus my subscription. I'm not going to do it. Now, if there was really brought to the table for me, like if there was anything that I really needed that it offered that I don't have, then I might. But it doesn't, so that's why. I hope that answers your question. Jim is asking my thoughts on the Adobe Project Indigo app. To be honest with you, Jim, I've downloaded and I haven't used it. I've read extensively about it. It is an advanced camera for the iPhone, and it is Adobe released it very quietly, and it has some really great features, the best as I can tell. I think the quality of what it's doing, like the computational photography, is very, very good. I saw Rick Salmon had released side-by-side tests of zooming into 10x and comparing it with the optical on an Apple, just regular Apples, and it looked better. It looked considerably better. Also, it does long exposures and does things that the Apple's camera won't do natively. So my thoughts are, it sounds intriguing. I just haven't used it. I know the interface is a little advanced, and so some people are saying, you know, ooh, it just seems too hard, but I don't know. I haven't worked with it, but I'm going to take a little trip for my birthday, so I will be trying it out. We'll find out, because I'm not taking my regular camera. I'm just taking my iPhone. All right. Patrick's got a question. He says, hello from Northwest Florida. My question is, if I have my images on an internal SSD, how do I move them to an external SSD and still have Lightroom know where the photos are? Patrick, I got an article for you on lightroomkillertips.com, and it's exactly that. How to move your photos from your internal computer to your other one and have Lightroom not miss it. So I did an article and a video, and Terry White also has one if you go to lightroomkillertips.com. In fact, if you have any kind of question like that about Lightroom, go to lightroomkillertips.com. It's the blog that I write with help from Rob Sylvan. We both write on there every week. And, well, I try to. I'm not writing this weekend. Friday? I don't think so. Anyway, isn't Friday the 4th? No, today's the 2nd? Yeah, Friday's the 4th. Friday's the 4th. It's probably not on the 4th. But anyway, go to lightroomkillertips.com, and there you go. It's done. All right, Photoshop question. Alrighty, is there a relatively easy way to remove things like safety netting at baseball games? Even if you try to get them out of focus, they appear as black lines. So there actually is a tool that is kind of designed for things like fences and netting and stuff like that. It is Photoshop's remove tool. It is the remove tool, and you just paint along the lines of the net, and when you're done, you hit go, and it does. I've seen it do an absolutely remarkable job with things like that, like removing fence at a zoo. Like you have a fence and then there's a tiger, and it removes it, and you're like, what? But it is not 100%. So it works great on some photos, and it hardly works at all on others. It just depends on the photo. But that is exactly what I would try to do first. I would try to use Photoshop's remove tool, which uses AI, by the way. It's an AI-based tool, as many things are in Photoshop. We've been using AI in Photoshop for like 10 years, and, you know, they just didn't call it AI, but it's AI. So anyway, give that a try. I think that you'll find that it probably does a pretty good job with stuff like that. All right, we have to take a short break. I do want to mention that we have coming up in just about 2 weeks the Travel Photography Conference, sponsored by our friends at On One Photo. It is going to be terrific. If you're into travel photography, and this is the time we are heading into we're into travel season right now, you got to come and be with us on this. You'll love it. It's 2 full days, 2 full tracks, an A track and a B track. Great cast of instructors, right? Really great people, including some new folks that are teaching with us for the first time. It's going to be fantastic. So please come and join us. You can save $150 if you register right now. So go to KelbyOne Live. And look, the day before, we have an orientation, and then ERIK is doing a whole thing on travel photography gear, and then we've got all these classes for you. And I've got a class. Can I tell you about my class? I got a really great class, and I've done this years ago, but I'm redoing it. I've redone it. It's ready to go. I haven't done it, but I mean, I'm ready to go. I don't know how to explain it. I'm ready. It is your travel photography shot list. I'm going to tell you. You go to a new town, you've never been there before, here's what to shoot, here's all the things that you should look out for, and I'm actually going to give you a copy of the list that you can keep on your phone, so when you're wherever you are, there it is, on day 2 on Wednesday, creating your travel photography shot list. I've got tons of great examples for you, and it's going to put you in a situation where, I'm just answering a question I get asked a lot. Okay, Scott, I'm going to London. I know I'm going to shoot Big Ben. Duh, right? Like you know, I know I'm going to shoot the big stuff, right? You're going to shoot the classic things, right? But then what? I can't come home with 1,200 shots of Big Ben. What else do I shoot? And that's what I'm going to cover. I'm telling you, very excited about the class. It's all ready to go. In fact, I just finished prepping on it today, and I'll have to practice it again a couple times. But it'll be smooth when I do it. I hope. Anyway, no, it'll be great. It'll be wonderful. Go to KelbyOneLive.com. Sign up right now. You get the entire conference archived for a full year. So if you want to go back and rewatch a class, if you want to see a class you missed on one of the other tracks, you want to rewatch them or whatever, you get the whole thing. You can stream on demand for a whole year. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we have more questions. Thank you guys for sending in the questions. We got more questions. We're going to talk about some chicken sandwich stuff. Yes, we are.
Are you ready to capture the world and master your photography? OnOne's photo editing gurus have joined forces with KelbyOne's photography training experts to show you the way. These world-traveling pros and masters teach their secrets at the OnOne Travel Photography Conference. Get their best tips for shooting smarter and editing like a pro using OnOne's cutting-edge tools. Why join? It's live, interactive, and packed with actionable advice for all skill levels. No travel needed. You get full access to all sessions for a year. Yes, you heard that right. You can revisit and study every lesson for a year. This will transform your travel photography forever. Sign up now and capture the world like never before.
Trying to put your portfolio together. And you know what stops?
Hey guys, I'm Karen Hutton and welcome to my class about Zion National Park. This park is absolutely gorgeous and it makes me so excited to be part of the greater National Park series that KelbyOne is doing. Zion National Park to me is really special. I've been here many times. Throughout this class you're going to see footage of me and scenery from other trips, because I really wanted to give you a full experience of the place over time and different conditions and so on and so forth. Zion is really a big, big park, and you're going to want a car. We'll talk about other ways of traveling through it. But just as an overview, I think of Zion in 4 sections. One is Kolob Canyons, there's Kolob Terrace, then there's the Scenic Canyon on the beginning, the east side, and then the actual east side on the farthest other side of the park. So buckle up, we're going to cover all the areas and some of the specialities that each one has to offer, some of the things to be careful about, to be prepared for. We're going to talk about gear, we're going to talk about all kinds of things. So come join me on my latest epic class on KelbyOne.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Hey, we are back. Scott Kelby here. No Mr. Kuna today. Boo, boo. I know, I miss him too. But he'll be back next week because that's the kind of guy he is. He goes away and then he comes back. All right, what kind of hard drive is that? Paul wants to know. It's a Seagate. It's just a standard Seagate. You know, go to B&H, wherever you buy your stuff. It should be B&H. buy your stuff. and they're very inexpensive. My gosh, the price of hard drives today is, but it's just a Seagate external hard drive. I think what I did was I went to B&H and I searched for Seagate external hard drive, and then you just choose the size you want. That's pretty much it. All right. James asks, okay, how about discussing photographing fireworks? All right, so I have an article on this. I have multiple articles on this. I did an article for Coca-Cola. So I used to write for Coca-Cola's blog regularly, and I did a thing on fireworks, and they would run it every year. But just in case Coca-Cola's blog doesn't run it, you can go to scottkelby.com or lightroomkillertips.com and type in the word fireworks. Here I will, I'm going to check. I'm pretty sure it's on lightroomkillertips.com, but I'm going to check. Don't move, don't breathe, don't make a sound. There it is. Well, that's editing. It's the next one down called How to Shoot and Post-Process Your Fireworks Photos. So they're right there. And I wouldn't say that there's a lot to it because I give you a recipe. Like, use these settings, aim up that way towards the fireworks. It really is, you just want to do a little bit of a long exposure, right? So you want to be on a tripod and you want to do a little bit of a long exposure, but I actually give you all the details. And look, we did a thing on how to take awesome fireworks photos on the grid. So there's that, and there's a whole article on it. So there you go. It's all right there. And Claudia wants to know, for fireworks, what's better, mechanical or electronic shutter? I don't know. I always use the electric shutter. I think that you may be overthinking it. It's really not. It's really a no-brainer. You're not going to have to change all your settings and stuff. It's really easy. Jorge wants to know, would you share some thoughts on the best way to edit fireworks photos? Really, the secret to fireworks photos is two things. I'll just tell you what they are. This is really, share some thoughts. Here we go. Dehaze. The dehaze slider is magic for fireworks, because a lot of times with the fireworks, you get smoke and you get haze. The dehaze works like absolute magic, because one of the downsides of dehaze, if you use it on a regular sunny day, is that it introduces a blue tint. It doesn't do that at night because the sky's black, so you don't really see it. So you can crank up the dehaze without having the side effect. That's number one. So dehaze clears the air, and then clarity makes it pop. Clarity and the white slider. So there's 3 sliders you need to know to make your fireworks look awesome. Start with dehaze, add some clarity, and pump up the whites. Those 3 things, that's the secret to post-processing them. That's it. That's it. It's very, very easy. And again, you can watch that grid episode. Patsy wants to know, how will AI affect photography in the future? Holy cow, Patsy, it's already affecting it a lot now, in good ways and bad ways. It is helping us on the production side by taking away boring, mundane, or just tedious tasks and replacing them very, very fast. For example, it would take me, in some cases, 1 or 2 hours to do a particular thing that literally now takes 12 seconds. So which would I rather be? Behind the camera, out there shooting, having fun, moving, grooving, shaking, baking? Or do I want to be sitting at my computer for 2 hours working on some tedious task? That's the good part. That's all the yay AI. The boo AI is when people start adding things to their photos that aren't there and not disclaiming them. People have been adding stuff to photos for years, but it's one thing if you take the moon and you took a shot of the moon, you took a shot of the skyline, and you take that moon and you copy it and you paste it into Photoshop and you arrange it wherever. We've been doing that forever. They did that in film cameras. Back in the film days, you'd have to do 2 exposures. You would expose for the city, and then you would rewind the film, and then you'd change your exposure for the moon, right? And then you would shoot again, and you did it in camera, or you could do it in Photoshop. Now you can just say, put a moon here, and it does it. I don't like that. I don't know. It's just me. I don't like that. So there's a lot of ethical questions about all that type of stuff. I think the way forward is full disclosure. If you added something, if you did something like that, just say it. Just say, yeah, I added that. You know, don't hide it. Don't act like it happened. Don't act like it was a miracle. The problem is there's already been people trying to win contests and trying to slip one past the goalie by saying, yeah, this was a legitimate photo, and then they find out later it was AI. It all comes down to those few people who will do those bad stuff. So, all right. Cheryl has a question that will always be answered. Anytime you ask a question about one of my books, it will be answered. Does this book have landscape composition as well? Absolutely. Of course. It has to. Yes, it has landscape composition. It has individual chapters on all kinds of stuff, but it's a different way of thinking about composition to help answer your question. It's not so much here's a question. There is a chapter on portraits. There is a chapter on landscape, but it's not so much that. It's understanding the bigger picture and the thing that you don't hear about. There's a lot of things that I just don't see. Everybody writes a book on composition based on the rules of composition. I mention them in 10 pages at the very end of the book so I can refer to them through the book. But I don't teach them. I'm not like, hey, this is what to do, because they're everywhere. Any book. You cannot buy a book on composition that won't have the rules in there. So that is the very last 10 pages of the book. That's it. The rest of the book is the stuff that nobody else is talking about. That's why I wrote the book. So my publisher, not my publisher, another publisher sends me a book. And I get books all the time to people hoping I will review them on my blog or something. And they just show up. I don't ask. They're unsolicited. You know, it's kind of like what we're trying to do where I send them to the Tesla dealers. Okay. Anyway, it just shows up. And so, and I look at it. I flip through them, you know, and sometimes if it's a really good book, I'll mention it, you know. Speaking of, I just got this book, but I know the author. It's called What the F? Stop. It's a little naughty. It's a little cheeky. He's Australian, so it goes. This is by Stephen Bollinger. And the whole book, it's called The Photography Book Without Pictures. It's really good. It's very cheeky. It's very funny. It's very insightful. I haven't read the whole thing yet, and what I've read has already been terrific. So Stephen Bollinger's book, What the F? Stop. Go check it out. It's available wherever fine books are sold. Okay. So going back to that, this book comes in, and it's about composition. Really nice cover shot. I looked through it. Holy cow. This is amazing. This photographer is so good. What do you think the chapters were? Rule of thirds, leading lines, balance, the rule of odds. I'm like, no. If you went back to the 1940s, if you went to the library and you somehow found a book on composition from the 1940s and you pulled it off the shelf, what do you think they would say? Rule of thirds, balance, rule of odds, leading lines, oi. And so I called my publisher and I said, hey, I got this book from another competing publisher. Beautiful photos, but it's the same crap everyone's teaching. Why isn't anybody teaching all this other stuff? He's like, what other stuff? And I tell him the whole thing and what's missing. And he said, we should do that book. But it was my publisher's idea to actually, so I want to give credit to Ted Waite, was to make it feel and look like a coffee table book. So he says it has one leg in the coffee table and one leg on the in the classroom. And so the whole book has a layout and feel that is more like a fine art coffee table book than anything, like a triptych and all. So it reads really well. I will say this, of the books that I've written, I've written 109 books, I think 109 now. The Tesla might be 110. But anyway, this is the only book I have. It's straight 5 stars. And some of the reviews even say this is the best book Scott's ever written. If you really want something that will help, that book will help you. I promise you, you will, because you'll return it if it doesn't. Anyway, there you go. Hope that answers your question. Janice, which polarized filter would you recommend for an outdoor portrait? Janice, do not buy a polarizer. Do not. You don't need a polarizer unless you are trying to cut reflections. You're standing in front of a stream out in the forest, and you can't see the rocks in the stream because it's reflecting the sky. You put a polarizer on, it cuts through the stream. You're standing at a store window, and you want to cut the reflection. But I don't even know. I don't know if you've seen the reflection cutter that's built into Photoshop now that cuts away reflections. It's an absolute miracle. It's insanity. It's just crazy. So I don't know even if that even matters anymore. I have many polarizers I bought over the years. I absolutely use none of them. If you want the sky to be bluer, just make it bluer in Lightroom or Photoshop. It's a 5-second thing. So select sky and darken the exposure. Do not go and buy a polarizer. Absolute waste of time in this day and age. Don't do it. Don't waste your money. All right. That's just my opinion. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Daryl says, I have the latest versions of Lightroom and On1 No Noise. I'm going from Lightroom to No Noise and back to Lightroom. On1 puts a magenta cast into the photo. I can correct it in Lightroom, but why should I need to? You shouldn't need to, Daryl. Something's wrong. There's something else wrong. And I don't know I don't know what it could be because I go back and forth and I don't get a color cast at all. 0. And I use it daily. I would uninstall it and reinstall it. Just do an uninstall and a reinstall because something ain't right. That's not how it works. So, sorry, Daryl. That's a pain in the butt to do that. And I know, but that's not how it works. It does not add a color cast. So, there's something else wrong there. All right. Craig says, what do you recommend for flash triggers, transmitters, and receivers for my old Canon flashes? Unfortunately, Craig, you got to buy a Canon flash trigger. That's the way it works. I wish you could buy another brand flash trigger, like you could buy like a Godox or a Yongnuo, because this is why people get fooled. They'll go to B&H and it'll say $60 trigger, Yongnuo for Canon. And you go, great, I can buy this transmitter for my Canon. Nope. It is the transmitter for Canon if you have the Canon version of the Yongnuo flash. It's very confusing. It burns people every single day. Unfortunately, if you own a Canon brand flash, you can either buy Pocket Wizards, I guess. I mean, God, I can't imagine going back to this, but get a Pocket Wizard and buy a cable that plugs in, and then buy another Pocket Wizard and attach that and have it hanging off your flash. I mean, that's really old school. It would work technically, but you're going to spend as much for 2 Pocket Wizards as you are probably. You're going to spend like $100 per Pocket Wizard. You might as well just go and buy the Canon receiver, transmitter. Sorry. Man, I got all this bad news. Somebody asked me a question that is good. This is Denny from Arizona. Hi, Denny. When I totally mess up an edit in Lightroom, how do I get back to the original image so I can start again? All right. So in Lightroom, let me see. Can you guys see my computer yet? 1 second, because they had me restart my computer on the break. So let me just, it takes a second for it to wake up and all this. So in a minute, I will answer that question for you. What if I totally mess it up in, all right. Well, no, I can't. My computer. So I got a weird thing on my computer. When I plug in an HDMI cable, my computer freezes for like a solid minute. So, it just unfroze, I think. Let me see if I can launch Lightroom. All right, let me launch Lightroom. We'll answer the first question. While it's launching, what if I totally mess it up in Photoshop? If you totally mess it up in Photoshop, you can go under the file menu in Photoshop and choose revert, and it will send it back to what it looked like when you opened it. So that's what revert does. Revert says revert it to what it looked like when you first opened it in Photoshop. So everything that you did will be erased and it's back to what it looked like when you open it. In Lightroom, which we happen to have right here in front of me, here's Lightroom. You would go to this button right here in the bottom right corner, reset, and that will reset the photo to what it looked like when you first opened it. So that's it. So you can see I've already edited this one. You can see that I moved the whites up to 41. Whites, by the way, are what control the lights in the city, right? It controls the lights in the buildings and stuff, right? So if you wanted to reset it to what it looked like when you first started, you would just hit reset, and it sets it back to where it looked like when it first started. Now, this is a photo I had already edited before. It's already been edited. That's why it's got the look that it does. So I just added that little stuff to make it pop. So I hope that answers your thing, Danny. From Lightroom Classic, you're going to hit reset, and from Photoshop, you're going to hit revert. Alrighty. Bagheera One says, here's a question. I hit a wall. I know how to take good photos. I've been watching KelbyOne for decades. Thank you, by the way, very much. But I feel like I'm starting to be over photography. What can I do to reignite my passion for photography? This is a great question, and it's happened to everybody. Everybody gets to this, I think what you said, you hit a wall or you hit a ceiling where you don't feel like you're really making any progress, you're not doing anything too exciting, and you're just kind of like, right? So here's what you do. Wait 3 weeks and then sell all your gear. No, I'm totally kidding. No, I have a thing that'll really help you. But it's going to take a little soul searching on your part, all right? So here's what I would recommend. This is the best advice I can give you. In fact, I just gave this advice to a friend. When I was in New York City, we had dinner together, and we had this walk, and he's telling me the same thing that you're taking. You know, he's a good photographer, but he's kind of in a rut. I'm kind of not excited about it. I'm like, look, you need a project. You actually need something to do that drives you to get you past this hump. So I'm like, you have to find something. Let's just say that you get up every morning and you play tennis. For whatever reason, that's your thing. You play tennis or pickleball, whatever it is. And you love pickleball. How are you tying photography to pickleball? Because if you decided, you know what I want to do? I want to photograph the 10 top pickleball locations in the United States. You now have a project, a personal project. You're going to do a calendar. You're going to do a book about it. You're going to do, I just saw someone that did a book on the bridges of Paris. Find something that you're passionate about and do a project on that. Something that you love, something that gets you excited. Now, it could be literally, it could be your kids, it could be your grandkids, it could be your local school, it could be anything, but you got to find something that you love outside of photography. Completely unrelated to photography, something that you're passionate about. And take those two together. So what's driving me right now in my photography, what keeps me from that hump, is I love to travel. I just love it. I love to go on vacation. I especially love to go on vacation with my family, which is why I'm not taking my camera this time. I'm kidding. But that drives me. So you take something that I'm super passionate about, and then I take my camera and I get to photograph. Taking two things I love and putting them together, that drives me. I'm trying to find new locations to go and photograph. It drives me forward. I have a list on my computer right now of the next places I would love to go, and I have a list of places I want to go back to. But if I didn't have that, and I wasn't moving or working towards something, and the something can be a book project. And let me tell you why book projects are important. You make a coffee table book of whatever, right? It's a legacy piece. This is something that lasts forever. It's something that you leave behind. It's something that your kids will have and your grandkids will have, and it's a part of your life. This is something that grandpa or my dad or whoever, my uncle, they love this, and look at the great stuff that they did, right? Write about it in the book. Show great pictures. Tell great stories. And if nobody ever buys your book, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You're creating a legacy piece. You're also creating a project that drives you forward. Take something you're passionate about, add photography to it, and watch the magic happen. Now it's time for a break. Hey, coming up in just a moment, there's lots more questions coming in. Don't forget, when you ask a question or you just make a comment, you don't have to ask a question, but if you make a comment, you're entered to win one of our great prizes today. Just tell us which prize you want to win. That's really important. Say, I'd love to win the blank or whatever it is, and we'll see you in just a minute.
You're trying to put your portfolio together, and you know what stops more people than anything, Rick? Deciding which images make the cut. It's so hard.
It is.
And Rick knows, because in this course on KelbyOne, I asked Rick, pick 75 of your best photos.
Was it hard getting those 75
It was
together?
very hard. Susan Salmon helped me very, very hard.
But in this class, we're getting it down to just 24. We're going to show you a number of different ways how to make decisions, how to not fall into portfolio traps, and we're going to do it together. You're going to see it all happen live as we do it, as we go from Rick's 75 hand-picked images all the way down to 24. But when you see the process and how we use Lightroom to help us make this easy, it's going to make a huge difference. It's going to help you get your portfolio online, and we're going to show you how to get your portfolio online without paying anything extra. We're even going to upload the images and take the 24 that we choose at Rick's, get them up there. It's going to be great. And how painful was the process?
Well, it was painful, but I'm going to still love you at the end.
You got to come and watch it and see as we go through the process of building your portfolio, what makes the cut. It's a brand new course exclusively at KelbyOne.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Hey, we're back. Scott here, and it's just me. It's really embarrassing, to be honest with you. I'm trying to look at the time. Oh, do we really only have 10 minutes left? Can that be right? My clock shows 1 hour and 49 minutes for some reason. I don't know what's happening there. Oh, that's the time now. Oh, okay. Because usually it's a countdown, like, you know, it's not usually not that. All right. Bill wants to know, can you recommend a good travel tripod that can support a telephoto lens like a 180 to 600? Oh, this would be a lightweight 180 to 600. I can tell you what I'm using, Bill, and I freaking love this. In fact, I just did a class on KelbyOne. It's called The Right Gear for Travel Photography. And I actually showed and timed how long it takes to set up and tear down this tripod. And I think the stability of the tripod, super lightweight, but how fast it is to set up and tear down. Because a lot of times you're like, do I really feel like setting this thing up? But if it sets up really fast and tears down really fast, and this thing is lightning fast. It is the travel tripod from Peak Design, P-E-A-K Design. Now, you can get it with or without the ball head. I use my own ball head for reasons. I tried their ball head. It's really not bad. But if you don't use it every day, I feel like there is the possibility that when you think you're tightening it, you're loosening it, and your camera could fall off. At least mine almost did once. It was user error, but if you don't use it enough, it's too easy to confuse the two. So I switched to a different ball head. However, that tripod, I love it on a level you can't believe. Now, I looked at their they have two of them, and they're not cheap. They're expensive, but they're really, really nicely, phenomenally designed. One of them is aluminum, and one of them is carbon fiber. And the difference is $200, but the difference in weight is only 5 ounces. So I could not tell you. Now, how did I get mine? I asked my brother for it for Christmas. He's like, I want to get you something really nice. I'm like, dude, be careful, because I got something I have my eye on. He said, no, I don't care. I don't care what it costs. I want to get you something nice. He's a great brother. And he got me that. And it was like $4.99. So it might have been $5.99. It's a lot. Youch, youch. All right, Brenda has got a comment. Brenda says, I love the Crush the Composition book. I just went to the Palouse, and I was lacking on composition ideas since I'm a bird photographer. Scott's book to the rescue. Thank you, Brenda. That was very nice of you. Thanks for saying that. Let's see. Bill says, could you explain Canon's whole area tracking servo autofocus on their first AF menu? No, I cannot. That was easy. Let's see. Nick says, do you routinely apply camera firmware updates when they're released? If not, how long do you delay? I delay to the last possible moment only because I'm lazy. You know what it is, Nick? I just don't keep up with them. You know how I do a firmware update? When Kuna tells me, you know you're 3 updates behind. I'm like, oh crap. Then I run them. Yeah, I'm bad about it. I don't use me as an example for firmware updates, Nick. It does not go well. I get around to it when I think of it, and usually that's when Kuna reminds me. It's not the answer you probably wanted to hear. Sorry. Barry says, even though I own Sony cameras and lenses, I find that I shoot with my iPhone 90% of the time. I'm very happy with the results. Should I feel guilty? No, you should feel awesome. It is a very, very awesome camera. I shoot with my iPhone a lot. I think right now on my iPhone, I have over 24,000 photos. It does an amazing job. In low light, it's incredible the way the night mode works. It does great panos. It does all kinds of stuff. So I take it as my second camera. So when I go on vacation, like my wife and we're going to Rome later this year, and then we're taking a cruise that starts in Barcelona and ends in Morocco. I'll take my regular camera, but I don't take a second body. My second body is my iPhone, and I'll be using that iPhone every time I'm using the other one. If I want to do a pano, if I want to do a video, if I want to do anything hard, or just sometimes I did a class called how to use, when to use your iPhone as your second camera. And I talked about all the different advantages, and there's many of them. So don't feel bad. It's a terrific camera. Figure it this way, right? I can shoot 48 megapixel raw photos with it, right? And there was a time where you couldn't even buy a 48 megapixel camera. They were ridiculous. Like when the only ones they had were medium formats that were like $25,000 and $30,000 just for the body. Now we have them in our camera. Don't ever feel bad about using your phone. It's great. There are things that it won't do, and there's a bunch of things that it will do. There's some things that it does better than your mirrorless, and there's some things it doesn't do as well. Part of the art of today's photography is knowing when to pick up the mirrorless and when to pick up the iPhone. Use them both. They're both tools. They both take great shots. Why not? Don't feel bad. Embrace it. Joining from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hi, Brenda. How do I get started promoting my shots and selling them on SmugMug? Brenda, I'm going to pitch one of our classes. We have a number of classes, honestly, on promoting your shots and selling your shots. There's a really great one from, Liesl Walsh? Liesl Walsh. I almost said Welch. Liesl Walsh on selling your images online, and it's terrific. And she has sold hundreds and hundreds of prints online, and she's a great teacher, and I would go watch that class. If you're not a KelbyOne member, you can just go buy the class and watch it. I think it's $29. Just go buy it, watch it. You'll learn a ton. A lot of people love her class. There it is, selling your prints on Fine Art America. So she is big on Fine Art America rather than SmugMug. SmugMug is fine, but she's had incredible success on there, and a lot of people love her and love her class. So I would go watch it. She's a cool cat, man. It's like that. Saint-Tropez is asking, is that a new t-shirt you're wearing? Yes, it's from the late summer collection. It's the Bon Jovi. I don't know if you can see it there. Little Bon Jovi action. Just shared these. I shared some of my spring collection. No, it's not my spring collection. It's my summer wardrobe. I just shared some, and I just ordered some more shirts. So in this batch, I got a new Def Leppard, new Cheap Trick, Bon Jovi, and a different Fender shirt I hadn't seen before. Two Fender shirts. So I got 5 shirts. I wonder if I can show you the picture. Hold on. I might be able to show you this, the summer collection, we call it. Give me just a moment while I bring up the summer collection. It's very summery. I'd like to summarize. Sorry. It gets bad from here. Hang on, I'll show you. Oh, here it is. Here we go. This is the beginning of the summer collection. Little Def Leppard, little Cheap Trick, little Bon Jovi that you see me wearing today. New Fender shirt, and there. I think there's a giant dog hair. We have 3 dogs, and their dog hair is everywhere. On the left Fender shirt, I do believe that is dog hair. I wish I had seen that before I posted it on my Facebook page, but there you go. Fender dog hair shirt. All righty. Michael asks, hello all the way from Orlando. What gives you the most satisfaction, taking the actual photographs or teaching others how to be better photographers? That's an easy one. I love the teaching. I'm a teacher at heart, and there is nothing more exciting to me than seeing people's progress, than seeing people elevate their work. It's the thing that gets me going. It's why I still do this. I could retire, but I can't because I love this. So I just, that's my thing. I love teaching. I love training. I love seeing people have success. So it's just in my DNA. It's weird. Dale wants to know, for a travel tripod, do you prefer a flip or a twist? Oh, Dale, hands down flip. Oh my gosh, flip, flip, flip. And I've had them both. I own them both. The thing with the twist is there's always one leg that isn't quite tight, and you set up your tripod and it goes like this. It's like every time or every other time, there's always one leg that didn't get it. That never happens with a flip. With a flip, it locks, boom, boom. And here's what you can do. With the flip, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, click, 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 and they are locked in place. I'm telling you, Dale, if you can, go watch my class on the right gear for travel photography on KelbyOne. You'll see me do it out on location in Croatia, and it's like, it's money. All right, studio lighting question from Myrtle Beach Drone Photo. Do I add a second Flashpoint Explorer 600 or lesser power lights? That sounds like the middle of a question. I don't know what the rest of it. Do I add a second Flashpoint Explorer 600? Can you flesh that question out for me a little bit? I'm not really sure what it means. So if you could just restate it with a little more detail, and I'll take a shot at it. Dwight says, Scott, on the Peak Travel Design travel tripod, is there an issue using your ball head instead of theirs? There is, but a friend of mine told me about an adapter that you buy from Peak that lets you use any ball head you want. And there you go. And you know what? While I have my camera phone thing open, I'll show you the one I got. Hang on. I got this one that my buddy Mimo bought, and I loved it. I saw it in Croatia and Venice. We did a workshop together, and I went and bought it immediately after. It's very nice and very small and very compact. I'm just going to find you a picture of it here. I don't know if I have a picture of the ball head. I think I may just have a picture of the box, which is stupid, but that might be what it is. Hang on. Don't move, don't breathe, don't make a sound. I think it's got to be like right here, right after Croatia. That was the first thing I did, was I came home and I bought that sucker. And maybe you can see it on this picture. You can't really see it in this picture. Hang on, I thought you'd be able to see it. But it's from Benrow, is the company, Benrow, and it is quite lovely. Well, let me see if it's in this. Nope, that's my old one. That one right there is my, that's not it. That is also, no, it's an Oben. That's an Oben, the Oben BE 117, which I love. Oh, is that it in there? Yeah, you can't really see it, but it's right there. Give me 1 second. I'm going to look here and see, because oh, here it is. It's this one. It's this Benrow. And there you can see what it looks like on the top of the box. And it is a ball head, and it is lovely. It looks like a Really Right Stuff. It feels like a Really Right Stuff, but it's $149. So it is quite a lovely ball head. And if you wait 1 second, I'll look and see if I can find it for you. Hang tight. Don't move, don't breathe, don't make a sound. I'll get you the exact model, but I'm telling you, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let me look at my previous orders. See if I see it here. Oh, crud. It's not going to show it. I won't be able to have it for you. Unfortunately, my Amazon does the weirdest thing, and I think I might have got it from B&H. I usually get my photo gear. That's it, right there. And I got the bigger one, the 35. So, no, I didn't. No, I'm sorry. I got the 30 right in the middle, that one. That is one hell of a ball head. Let me tell you. That's a hell of a ball. That's a hell of a ball head right there. That right there. That's a hell of a ball head. Right there. All righty. Oh, don't forget Cindy Jolly. Hi, Cindy. I know Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Cindy's asking, don't forget the chicken sandwich story. You know what? We're over time. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it's chicken sandwich time. And then we're going to give away a bunch of prizes, and then we're going to say goodbye in that order or something like it. There you go.
All right, you just came back from some amazing vacation, some fantastic place, like maybe you were in Spain or you're in France or you're in someplace amazing, and you've taken a lot of good shots, but what's going to make them fantastic shots? I got to be honest with you. It's that stuff you do in Lightroom and Photoshop. It's that post-processing stuff that's going to take them to the next level. And I'm going to take you there. I'm going to take you through all of it. I'm going to share all of my favorite travel photography editing tips. And man, I got a bunch of them because there's things we only deal with in travel photography that you never have to deal with, like in landscape photography or portrait photography, like power lines and tourists and removing distracting things and all kinds of horrible things. But you can also add things that make your images look phenomenal. And I want to uncover all of this. We're going to cover everything from beginning to end. I'm sharing my very favorite travel photography editing tips and take you through the whole thing. I'm going to start you off in the right place. We're even going to talk about organizing. I'm going to show you how to make beams of light all inside a Lightroom. You're going to be able to add effects and things to your photos that are going to make everyone so jealous they're going to hate you. I want them to be like, how did you get these? These are amazing. These are incredible. And I want them to be jealous of you, and I want them to feel bad, because that's what travel photography is really all about, is making yourself higher and lowering those. No, I'm just kidding. No, you know what it is about? It's about creating images that inspire people to go to those very same places. And I'm going to show you exactly how it's done. Come and watch my brand new class on how to edit your travel photos. And it is only found one place. It's exclusively at KelbyOne.com.
Howdy folks, Moose Peterson here in what's been my playground for decades, Yosemite National Park. This is part of KelbyOne's National Park Series, and we've got something very special for you. Well, whether you're a first-time visitor or you've been here many, many times, it's going to be new every time. We're going to start off at Tunnel View, a place that's going to get you revved up. We're going to take you up the trail to Yosemite Falls. And we're going to take you up personally, intimately with these places. Where do you go? Where do you stop? What cameras do you take? What lenses? How do you make it really simple and easy, not complex, so you take in all the places here, and that comes through in your photograph, your passion, your love for being outdoors, and of course, Yosemite. So come along. This is going to be a marvelous class for you to get inspired. It's going to be exclusively on KelbyOne.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
I'm back. We're back live. I had another thing I wanted to give away. And where the heck is it? We're looking for it. Oh, that's it. Yay. I have a bonus giveaway. And this is really, really great. This is one of the greatest things. All right. This is from the folks at Black Rapid. They make the camera strap that I've been using for literally, I think, 14 years. I can't get rid of it because it's so great. And then I've been using their classic, and I finally got their new one. It's the best camera strap ever. It goes across your body, so you can see a picture of it here, right? It goes across your body. It's a sling camera bag. So it does a number of things. Number one, you're always ready. You just boom, your camera's right there. It's like boom, it's like boom. That's number one. Number two is, because it goes across your body, someone can't grab it off your shoulder and run away. Because if they grab it off your shoulder, you're going with them. They're not going very far. And they don't dislocate your shoulder, because I've heard of that happening to people where they grab their camera off their shoulder, steal their camera, and dislocate their shoulder all at once. This is not going to happen. I'm telling you guys, their stuff is fantastic. I cannot recommend it enough. I've been recommending it literally for 10 years straight. They heard about it, and they sent me a free one to give away. So that's what we're going to give away. So this is the Blackline 1, the original camera sling. And it comes in this little nice bag, and you get a sticker and all kinds of great stuff. I'm going to give one away, and that is a Black Rapid Blackline 1. So if you want to win this, while I'm talking about the chicken, go in there and say, I want to win it. We'll pick a winner and give it away now. But that's the Black Rapids. You can just say the camera strap or Black Rapid. But it is, I'm telling you, their camera straps, don't sleep on them. They're fantastic. Okay. Highly recommended. Here we go. A new chicken place came to town. And I was a little like, I don't know how great this is going to be. It's phenomenal. Now, this chicken place is nationwide, or almost everywhere. It's called Dave's Hot Chicken. And I'd read about it before, and it had come to Tampa, but nowhere near me. It has gone out so far that it is now in Odessa, Florida. There is nothing in Odessa, Florida. It is completely empty. It's just a vast prairie and one Dave's Hot Chicken. Okay, it's not exactly that. But I'm telling you guys, their stuff is ridiculous. It is, and look at these mini sliders. Let me just scroll down. Look at this. So they call them sliders, but they're big chicken sandwiches. I don't know why they call them sliders, because slider to me means very small little mini sandwich. Now, they do sell 4 mini sliders that are like what you would think. But I'm telling you guys, and they have every kind of temperature. So they're not spicy. You get to choose no spice, low spice, light spice, medium, mild, on, hot, scorching, on fire. You choose. But people think, oh, it's hot chicken. That means it's going to be spicy. It's as spicy as you want it to be. And they don't have a ton of things on their menu. It's basically chicken tenders with all kinds of sauces, chicken sliders, chicken sandwiches. It's phenomenal. They're all over. Here, let's look at their menu. If you have not tried it, look, we got 4 of them right here in the Tampa Bay area where we're located. One in the Buck Stadium. There's one in Odessa right there, Pine Gap Spur. That's not far from where I live. Over on Fowler, and I don't even know where Willett Way is, but it's in Wesley Chapel, which is not that far from me, but probably further than, well, this one's, 10 minutes from me. Okay. Anyway, if you go to locations, you can just put a zip in or a, how about New York City? New York City. Oh, New York City. Yeah, they got that Brooklyn in the house. 8th Avenue at 56th, 3rd Avenue at 85th. They're in Secaucus, New Jersey. More Brooklyn, more New York. They're on Passaic Avenue, Fresh Meadows. They're in Paramus, New Jersey. I'm telling you, they're all over. Dave's Hot Chicken. If you haven't tried it, phenomenal. I don't know where, it's hard. It's a different kind of chicken sandwich. It's very crispy and delicious, and I don't know where to put it in the thing until Eric gets back, and Eric and I both go there to Dave's Hot Chicken together, and we may bring him into the studio and try him out. But I'm telling you, woo, phenomenal, fantastic. And I just get mine mild. I like a little kick, but just very mild. It's mild. I don't even taste it. Dave's Hot Chicken is your hot take for this episode of The Grid. All right, let's see who's won what. Paul Maschak, you won the V-flat, not the V-fat. Nobody wants that. You won the V-flat. Congratulations. Renee Whitley Price, you won Eric's brand new night photography book. Remember, you didn't win Eric's book. You can go buy it. You can go buy it. Yeah, you can. Scott Smith, you won On One No Noise plugin. Congratulations. Luis, you won the Luis Maja. You won the Platypod handle. Patsy Gibson, you won the composition book. You won the Crush the Composition book. Dodie Ross, hi Dodie. Dodie won the Tesla book. And the camera strap winner, we got to pull that up on screen. Here we go. I can pull it up on mine. It's blackrapid.com. And this is all their stuff. They got camera straps. Hang on. Yeah, look at all these. Now, they got camera straps. These are for sports photographers, the people that need to carry two. But here's the Blackline one, I think, that we're using right here. Oh, here we go. You can kind of see it there. What a great camera strap. So great. So great. So great. And the one I have has a little pocket for an extra battery right there. I put my extra battery. You could put a battery and a memory card right there so you don't have to carry your stupid camera bag. Anyway, there you go. The winner is Herb Coyle. C-O-Y-L-E. Hope that's right. Oh, wait a minute. We just heard in from Mr. Kuna in the Outer Banks, and he says, I've been there. It's great. All right. Well, Eric, we have to do it together. Bring him in. Try him on there, and we'll have to go against the KFC. I think it's going to beat the KFC. The KFC is very good. Don't sleep on that one. I think it's going to beat it. We know it's going to beat Zaxby's. It's beating everybody else. I'm telling you. Kuna says it. It's got to be true. All right, everybody. For those of you who won prizes, email us at gridprize@kelbyone.com. That address is, again, gridprize@kelbyone.com. We will verify that you're actually the person that won. We'll get your address. By the way, go ahead and send your address with us so we can ship it to you so we don't have to keep going back and forth. Send us your address and make sure you claim it by this Friday, and we'll get you all that stuff out as our way of saying thank you for watching The Grid. Also, this would be a great time, since you're just kind of hanging out, we're partying, go over to kelbyone.com and check us out. I'm telling you, we release a brand new class every single week. Now, you could do the math and figure, all right, they sell the classes for $29, right? So if they do a class every week, I'll do the math for you since I'm mathy. No, I'm not very good at math, but we're going to pull up my count. Where's my calculator? It's down here. All right. So it's $29 is what we charge for a class. We do 52 of them a year. It would be $1,500 if you bought all the classes for the year, but you don't have to, because for $199, you can get a complete pro membership and have access to everything, every single thing, plus all the classes that we're working on. We're releasing a new class, and this you saw an ad for this week's class, which is Rick Salmon and I helping you to see how to make the toughest decision, which is which images make it into my portfolio. And I asked Rick to get 75 of his best photos, and I would help him chop it down to the best 24. And we did it live. It's very live. And Rick was great. Rick is always great, but he was especially good through this because it's tough to have somebody else telling you this one doesn't make it, that one does, here's why, this isn't good, that's the right one. Woo! It was a wild ride. You're going to love it. And that just came out. That's, I guess it just came out today. It's brand new. It's smoking. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks to our crew here, to Christina and the crew. Thanks to our sponsors, and thanks to all of you for watching today. And thanks for Mr. Kuna for giving us an unsolicited testimony on Dave's Hot Chicken. We will see you guys next week on the grid, because it's been a fine, fine day.